I love your account, dude. It's like 420 games as well. Ayo!
420, I know.
Platchums.
It's been a while since we last looked at our trophy accounts, so I thought we'll take
a
this
while.
opportunity. Let's have a look. See what we've played. Check what we've been up to. I've not much, to be honest. But when last did we do one of these? I think it's been probably
It's been so long since we actually just
months.
sat down and like looked at our accounts and like just to go over what we've played. Like we did do like our kind of year in review sort of thing, but it wasn't really just like this meticulous look at what we've been playing and what we kind of hope to play. So I think naturally, because I normally got less impressive games and played a little bit less, I'll start, right? So this year, so far, right, 2023, I've got a grand total of 3 platinums.
It's only February.
It's only February. I think in the year in review, I said I'd be happy to get to like 180.
Yeah,
like I'm on 169 at the moment.
Yeah, you're gonna easily hit that.
So like I'm kind of on course for it.
Absolutely.
So like my first platinum this year is Life is Strange True Colors,
Nice.
which is now my most common platinum.
Yeah. Okay,
Start the year.
That's interesting. Like it's not even 70%, and that's your most common platinum. That's something to be proud of, because that's a pretty good game anyway.
I did like it. It was probably my least favorite Life is Strange game.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I think I agree with that. Yeah.
Like I think for me it was the first game Before the Storm is actually I thought very good, and then the second game after that. But I just like those story driven narrative games. Like I just like that shit. So but again, like very straightforward trophy wise. So then I kind of had to counterbalance that. So the second plat I got was Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Nice.
Which is still the very long ongoing Platinum Club game. So if you haven't got the Platinum at this point, lad, it took me 5 months and 2 weeks. So, well, not like of pure gameplay time. So it was great game. Like just a really good game. Like we'll be going into it when the eventual video comes out for that game on the Plat Club. But I think if you're looking to like play a Yakuza game, I think that's like the best point of entry, in fairness, especially if you're a bit conscious of the trophies. It's one playthrough, no legend difficulty. It's really just like the Millennium Tower, like that's kind of will separate the men from the boys, you know.
Sure. I remember you saying that wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be, though.
No, like it really wasn't. If I ever said you needed to grind to every single job level to 99, no, you really do not. You just need to set up a good team. You need to max out like your level and like at least one job. Like, don't get me wrong. I'll go into detail in that video, but like you don't need to grind every single level. But overall, like it's crazy that like the Yakuza games, they just have like I just love going back to all the old areas. Like I love then seeing changes in like the town. From like the previous game, and I've only played 3 of them, and even I love it. So I don't know if I'll go with trying to get all the Yakuza platinums because they are just long.
Very long.
Like great games, but I've seen people's lists where like they platted Yakuza 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like all one after another, and I'm like, that is so admirable, but I couldn't do that. Like there's some strengths in doing that, I guess, for like things like the Mahjong and all that stays really fresh. So like all the mini games, because the trophy lists are all very similar.
Sure.
Which is also great about Like a Dragon. Yes, it has one very hard challenge, but you don't need to get all the completion points like you do for Yakuza 0 or Kiwami and stuff.
But it's all still there, is it? Like
it's all still there, but it's like you need to. There's a trophy for just playing 10 mini games,
sure,
and there's no trophy for 100% completion like Yakuza 0. Like so, yeah. If anyone's looking to like try to dip their toe into the series, play Like a Dragon. It's a like great kind of litmus test of whether or not you'd like it, but like the platinum is by far the easiest. And
Cool.
then I went back to Stray. It took me 6 months. So the last trophy I needed was to die 9 times. So I was very tempted just to leave it. You know, like someone would do with Dark Souls, would they get every trophy bar dying for the first time?
Yeah.
So after I got the speedrun trophy, speedrun was grand. I found like a great video online with commentary. Because if I can, I prefer like the text guides are great for collectibles, I think, but not for speedruns.
Agree. Completely agree.
That would be my like kind of personal preference when I'm approaching a plat.
Same.
But for a speedrun,
as well.
Yeah.
It has to have commentary.
For a speedrun, if there's no commentary, it's like if the speedrun is 2 hours, it'll actually take you 4 hours because you're playing, pausing. Like if it's like the speedrunners tear through it, you know, and like if you're kind of playing and like glancing, you're just like, wait, when did you go? Wait, so I need to go left, right, straight, left, right, you know, like that. If it's like running through like a corridor, so it had commentary and it was like absolutely like fantastic. So all in all, it was like, I think it was like 2 hours my time, but the final game time was like 1 hour and 30 minutes or 1 hour and 35.
Sure.
But anyway, with the final trophy, I was just like, oh, I could leave it. But then I was like, wait, it's just fucking Stray. Yeah, it's not as if it's like some like great indication of raw gaming talent. It's not like the Dark Soul, like, you know, bride going like, oh, I got every trophy bar dying. So I just was like, oh, screw it. So I needed to like kill myself like 4 or 5 times in the game. So I only died like 4 times in like both playthroughs. Like it's not a difficult game. But got the plat. So like my thing with games, I've been kind of cleaning up.
See that. Yeah.
Just the games that were kind of left there. So then like I got The Legend of Dragoon.
Sure. I see that.
But I haven't played it yet. Yeah. Because you told me it was glitchy as.
Yeah, there's an issue with the magic, the Dragoon magic. So if you use it, it soft locks the game. So I think best bet is like you can still play the game without it. It's just, you know, it's a nice, cool, like it's fun and it's very beneficial gameplay wise to have that magic. So it's better to maybe wait and hold out a little bit until they patch that. Now with the rewind function on the PS1 classics, like the game is going to be a complete cakewalk to plat anyway. But I would say if anyone's interested in playing the game, just hold out and wait until it gets patched.
Yeah, no, I'm going to wait. And side note, I told you already, but I was gutted that Harvest Moon Back to Nature didn't come with trophies because that is like low key one of my favorite games on PS1. I played the shit out of that. I love that game. But yeah, no trophies for it. Maybe it'll come later, and if it does, I'm going to like. Hopefully, there isn't a trophy for like getting to the end of year 3 because that's a long trophy. But I'll still do it. But anyway, and then after finishing Stray and kind of I was working on Sekiro as well. I kind of just was flicking through, and I was like, you know, I fancy something short, you know, and just kind of fun and just easy going. So I finally played Infamous Festival of Blood. Like 12 years after it was released or some shit. I can actually get the actual release date. 2011. So
it's the full Infamous collection then.
I've all Infamous games now. So it was a game that just kind of went away from me. So like I really liked Infamous 2 especially.
Yeah.
Like I'll probably say that's my favorite Infamous game. My favorite mode of transportation or movement is an Infamous First Light. That's just great. It's just very quick. But I really liked Infamous 2, and it was a DLC that I'm like, no, I'll definitely add it. That's like, you know, it harkens back to those great, like I think almost like the best days of DLC was like on the PS3, where the real like Undead Nightmare, Citadel DLC, stuff like Infamous, you know, Festival of Blood, like big, almost like game-sized DLCs that were worth the money. But yeah, it just never happened. I just ended up not bothering, and I I didn't. This is the first PS3 game I've put on my list in 7 or 8 years. So like I made like a clean break from the PS3. So I think I said before, when I was moving abroad, it was I need to finish my list. I need to finish my list before I move because I don't know when I'm going to be able to play games again. And I think like a week before I was going to move, I like unlocked the Resi 1 Platinum. So I like at one point, remember on the PS3 the game card. At one point I had Resident Evil 1, Max Payne 3, and Peace Walker, the Peace Walker plat. I had 3 platinums in that row of 8. And I'm like, oh, look, I'm retired. I'm retired. And I walked away. And then you can see my list. It was like Resi Plat, August 2015. And then my next platinum was February 2016. So that's a big gap. But I played Fallout 4 like that December. So it's not as if I didn't play it for about 4 months, 3-4 months.
Sure.
But I remember just like, yeah, I know like I picked up a PS4 around then, and I just never went back to PS3. So to be honest, I think I've 89 PS3 games on my account now. I'd love to get that to 100, like an even 100 on the PS3. Yeah. So like I'm kind of looking for recommendations for any great PS3 games that you can still get the plat on that I may have missed out on. So like one I'm definitely going to go back to is Jak 3.
Yeah,
because I just have Jak 1 and 2, and I think I played them so quick together that I'm like, I'm not bothered with Jak 3, but I end up just never playing it. And like I paid decent money, okay, €6 for like Jak 3. I may as well get I played on PS2.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of vibing with like, I might go back and just if there's any classics, great PS3 games that I happen to miss, I'm going to just like tidy it up, and I'd like it's so arbitrary and unimportant, but I would like just to get it to like that even 100, and then like really just put the PS3 to rest. So I'll see what other games kind of tickle my fancy, and then the only other thing I've been playing is Sekiro. So as of last night, I unlocked all the skills or the prosthetic upgrades. Sorry, not the skills. So I'm starting to grind. So I'm kind of. I'm on New Game Plus, and I'm at the final boss, and I was doing like a little bit of farming, and grinding. So, I'll probably beat the boss after we're done recording and start into New Game Plus.
Yeah,
just and like tear through the game, and I think that would be more fun. And worthwhile, and kind of cut the actual time just mindlessly grinding.
Yeah.
So Sekiro was a funny one where I think it's like the more I played it, the more I did enjoy it, and I kind of got keyed in to the rhythm of the game. It is very different, and I think coming from Elden Ring, it hits you very hard. Like it's a completely different style of game, and it's not as versatile or flexible in how you approach enemies.
No,
compared with Elden Ring, like it's kind of like this is the game. If you don't learn how to play it, you're going to have a bad time, kind of game.
Yeah.
But I'll be delighted to get that platinum because then I think I've like all the From Software plats, like not all like that are possible, like your good self with the different regions of Demon Souls. I just need, I think, Demon Souls on the PS5, which I have courtesy of you. Yeah. So yeah, I'd have Sekiro, Dark Souls 1 through 3, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring. So kind of like the big ones. And it's like, for me, that's a big deal, as sad as that is, because it was very late coming to the whole Soulsborne series. And since kind of, 2020 or since COVID happened, I was kind of like making them a goal where I've kind of got like a Dark Souls or a Soulsborne plat like every year since.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love them. So
that was the challenge I set to you as well, was to finish them all, and you're almost there
in a year. Yeah, I never did anything with that series again on the channel. It's just part 1, and I'm being Dark Souls doing like fuck this. I'll never touch it again.
But no, that's great. Yeah, you're so close to that. But yeah, the end of Sekiro drags a little bit.
It's bad. It's bad. Like it's bringing me back to Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is pretty bad. But like I see an end in sight, and at least I have the option of just doing like another playthrough, just tear through the bosses, have some fun with actually having a very high attack power, and just to cut. I'd rather do a playthrough than grind, for 5 to 10 hours. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll take the fun route if possible. So overall, I'm like pretty happy. I just have 76 unearned trophies now, which is the least for a while, kind of sub 100, 99.13% completion rate. Yeah, like pretty happy with that. As I said, I don't know what the evil within. Well, I'm just gonna hide it, man. Just gonna hide it. Just
No,
hide
you
it.
can't hide it.
The first and only game that I've ever hidden on my account. So I'd say once I finish Sekiro, it's only the evil within that can actually get trophies on that is currently on my account.
Wow.
So I'll probably go with something like Prey, or I might see if there's any, like maybe Jack 3, just a nice short, simple, fun plat, and kind of scratch that itch, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I think some good plats, and it's mainly like cleanup stations this year. So I'm still on course for that like 10 plats, or I think optimistically I said like 15. But yeah, if I can get to like 175, 180 plats this year, I think that's pretty damn good. Because like Yakuza was long, Sekiro has the grind. So yeah, like I'm glad to get them kind of done. But anyway, what have you been playing, good sir, with your new ultimate ultra rare super platinum?
Yeah, no, you're doing really well this year so far. Like because you were in a bit of a lull, and the evil within, like there's
broke
still
me.
reverberations of that shock, you know. And I was so delighted to see, especially like say going back and getting Stray as well, because I knew that one was you just kind of were kind of past that. You weren't like super interested in doing it anymore. And it's hard to get over those humps when you hit them.
It is. So I think getting the UFC 4 platinum
spurred you.
It spurred it because I didn't think I still had it in me, man. Like I was on. I like if I was like Rocky, I'd be on like Rocky 4 pushing Rocky 5 in the series, you know, because the kind is like, you know, it's just like I gotta do one more fight in me, you know.
Yeah.
So like I really enjoyed the God of War Ragnarok platinum as well. Like that was a nice plat. But I think 4 was like, oh yeah, because the thrill of getting that plat, it was like old school kind of, oh my god, I did it. It was like, you know,
yeah. Well, like the common misconception, the common Platchums misconception is that I'm the skilled gamer of the two of us, when you in fact always had the better account than me up until kind of the pandemic. And then I just started like going completely ham and playing 100 times more games than you. But you always had the better account and more like skilled games than me. And
like
that was
you've some heavily skilled games. Like I think we cover each other's blind spots, man. We're a beautiful relation. No, like,
like I just play bulk. You know, like I play so much more. I just play more games than you at this stage.
You say bulk, but you do have like something like Wolfenstein 2. You know, like that's just such a great plat. In fairness, and you know,
a good one to get, but not like I'll keep saying this one, but Wolfenstein 2 isn't just like, it's not really like a skill heavy plat. It's like, you know, I would say something like the sports games, or like a fighting game. Like they're the skill games, or precision platformers like Super Meat Boy or Splasher. You know, those ones are to me are the skill. Like with Wolfenstein, I just took it really, really slow and just didn't die, you know. So like, you know, it's not like that skill intensive. Like there's a bit of like clutch to it as well, you know, because you have to not die sometimes when it can be very easy to die.
I think that's a test of pressure.
Pressure,
you know, like with Max Payne
really
3.
skill.
With Max Payne 3, like it's the actual mode New York Minute Hardcore is on normal difficulty.
Sure.
Technically, it's not on like the hardest difficulty. It's just, you know, that it's just that pressure cooker where the more into the game you get, the further you get, the pressure builds and builds and builds, because, you know, it's that like sunk cost thing where like if I die like in the last chapter, I'm losing so much progress, you know, and like that's where the pressure comes from.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's the same in Wolfenstein 2, where like, you know, you don't want to have to go through the whole gauntlet again. There's an element to that
Like the
in
unskippable cutscenes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like I'm glad you think so. I think overall, like your account, like especially like in the last 2-3 years, like you've bumped up that completion rate, like the amount of ultra rares, like it's just so good.
Well, I'm definitely happy with where it is now. And yeah, this year now, I've got 6 plats so far this year. So like not like a
I'm
huge
not
amount
that
of
far
difference.
off you. I'm
Yeah,
just
exactly.
surprised.
Like
Holy shit! I'm gonna
not
go
a
and
huge
play
difference.
something now. Jack 3, load up Jack 3.
So I started the year off. I did Norco, which was like a visual novel kind of, LucasArts style game. That had a really kind of quirky and weird but cool story. It's all kind of like about like industrialism and
Okay.
colonialism and stuff. It's a bit weird, but it's cool. The story was very deep. Maybe a little bit over my head, but I watched a few videos after, kind of explaining
So now
it
I'm
and
an
stuff.
expert.
There's a lot of like like themes of like environmentalism and lots of cool stuff. I really enjoyed the story of it.
That sounds interesting though.
Yeah. Then I played The Last Stop, which was an Annapurna game, and I love Annapurna games. But I would say this is the worst Annapurna game I've ever played.
What's your reasoning?
It was like it's like a Telltale style game, but the story wasn't good.
Oh,
and then you those games live and die by how good the story is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The story, I just wasn't into the story at all. So I found that one quite a trek to get through.
Okay,
but
you did it. You did
it. I did it. Yeah. God of War Ragnarok, of course, and that was one I was playing kind of for the most of December. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It was God of War.
Do you have my copy of the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Did I give it back to you?
I don't know.
Not. Maybe not. I
was organizing my games earlier, and I'm like, I thought I
have
it.
Game. Then
okay,
yeah, then I have it 100%.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
If
good
I
to
haven't
know.
given it back to you, it's up on my shelf. Yeah.
Yes, it's in a safe place.
It's in the safe place. Then I played Inscription, which is a card game, and it's kind of like a fourth wall breaking game as well. It's really, really cool. Inscription was one that I really wanted to play earlier in the year, or at first when it came out. It was a 2021 game, I think, and it was a PC exclusive, or at least it wasn't on PlayStation. I can't remember what other console did it come out on Xbox, but it wasn't on PlayStation. So I was really excited to play that one. And there's a PS4 stack, and I might go back and play that maybe sometime in the future. Did the Resi Village DLC, thanks to you. I got the DLC from you and really enjoyed it.
I thought it was very good. I enjoyed it.
I love Resi games in general, so the Resi DLC is always good to me.
Yeah, the Resi DLC is always good. Yeah, like they do good DLC. Like it was quite short, but that's yeah.
It was a nice.
It was a nice length. Yeah.
And I liked, that they had, say, the first person, or sorry, the third person option implemented. That was really cool too. Then I did Bug Fables, which was a missing collectible recommendation. And a lot of the games I played
was it a Will or a Pete game?
It was both. I suppose they've both been kind of hammering on how good Bug Fables is for a long time, but Pete has a video on it, and it's really good. And I always liked it because I love Paper Mario, especially Paper Mario.
Paper Mario is great.
Yeah, and this is just literally a Paper Mario clone set in a bug world, so it's really good for anyone who likes Paper Mario. Bug Fables is excellent. Then
I'm intrigued by that.
Finished up Killing Floor 2 DLC again.
It's never going to end. dude.
It's no. We're going to be talking about this when the PS6
like
is
when
out. I'd say.
when we're like fucking 85, going, they're gonna do one more DLC. Like,
It'll always be at the top trophy list.
yeah.
So
Oh.
then I went and I did Invisible Ink, which was the game you were mentioning earlier, which is now my rarest plat ever at 0.41%, which is absolutely insane.
Juicy. Does the rarity reflect the difficulty in your opinion?
No, absolutely not. Like I got it in 2 weeks, and I wasn't even going that fast at it, to be honest. It's a game that we saw on Mark Cerny's account when we reviewed his account. It's also a game that Pete has from Missing Collectible 2, and Pete and Mark Cerny are two extremely intelligent people, so I knew that this game was going to be hard. And maybe geared towards more the intelligence stuff. So I was a little bit worried about that. But
imposter syndrome when you're like, yeah.
But thankfully, it wasn't too bad once I kind of got it. It's one of those games. I think it's so rare because when you first load it up, it's kind of like overwhelming because you're like, there's just so many mechanics and things like that. But it's also just one of those rare games that's just much rarer than it should be.
And do you think it's good? Like,
it's great fun. Yeah. I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a grid game. It's like a tactical grid game where you play as kind of like secret agents who have to do a variety of different missions to kind of make it through. You make it through a number of days, and each mission takes a number of hours. And then you have to, like the different missions will have different objectives, like rescue someone or, find a rare item or something like that. But really cool game. Really, really enjoyed it. Kind of like, I'm not super experienced in those kind of tactics games. Like the last grid game I played was probably like Fire Emblem or something like that.
Yeah,
or maybe Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, that wouldn't really be my strong point, really.
And this one was like, it's quite like stealth heavy as well. And it's all like, but it's quite forgiving because you can save scum it as well if you want. And there's a built-in rewind feature that you can't use for all the trophies, but most of them you can.
Okay.
So anyone who's looking for like some easy ultra rares, I would definitely suggest Invisible Ink. And I wouldn't suggest too many people play it because then it won't become ultra rare anymore.
If only 0.4% of the people listening to this could play it, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep it at that rarity. But yeah, great game. Really highly recommended it. Went black, and then I played the Man-Eater DLC because it was on sale. That was, stupid B-movie fun.
Yeah.
Enjoyable.
Nothing wrong with that. Kind of like Infamous Festival of Blood. Just B-movie.
This one is more dumb, I think. Yeah. Man-Eater is more dumb, definitely. But it's good. Yeah, it is fun. My kids were playing it with me as well, and they were like, eat the guy. I was like, yeah.
I thought you were going to say your kids were like, God, this is just rather embarrassing. This is so dumb. This is B-movie schluck. This is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that would be probably more their thinking, possibly. But, I think they saw playing as a shark, and they thought that was pretty cool.
It is kind of cool.
It is kind of cool, yeah. And I loaded up the Ghost Runner DLC as well because there's a DLC sale on, so I got the Man-Eater and the
there
Ghost
is,
Runner
DLC.
Yeah.
I was looking for the Moon Crash DLC in Prey. When I started that. Apparently, it's stellar DLC.
I've heard that's really good. Yeah,
kind of what we were saying earlier, going back to the glory days of DLC, but it's not on sale. And not
on sale. Ooh.
But how's the Ghost Runner DLC?
It seems cool. I'm only like, I think I only finished the first mission or something, and it took me, I think I died like 60 times, even though I know how to play Ghost Runner.
Do you?
But it's the kind of game that if you put down and then try to come back to, you have to kind of like relearn everything. Nearly.
Yeah.
But get kind of back into it now, and I'll try. The trophies look like a little bit tricky, I would say. They're quite rare.
Yeah, they are. I'm just looking at it now.
It's not like a walk in the park kind of thing.
It'll take a little bit rare to rare.
A little bit more investment than the Man-Eater DLC will. But that's a kind of a 2-for-1 because the DLC works for the PS4 version, and I have that on my list as well. So
nice. You can
that will aid me in my completion rate.
nice. It reminds me of the Mirror's Edge Platinum. Like the DLC, I think is worth more than the plat in my eyes because it's like you need to essentially ace every single time trial. I think there's only like 8 stars that of leeway. Yeah. Like it's 90 stars. So like so such games always like really the DLC that really go ham in terms of difficulty, I think, just to kind of for the hardcore fans that are going to buy it, like they want that. So so like you've kind of played a great mix of games as per usual and kind of still cleaning it up a good bit. So like what are you gonna work on next, do you think?
I want to get my average rarity down a little bit. That's kind of my goal for this year, more so than just
rarity's at 40.55. Like you might hit 40 if you play your cards right.
That's what I'm gonna kind of aiming for. Try and keep it down kind of around that 40 mark. Like I like to play, some indie games and stuff and smaller ones that are generally like less rare. So I want to have a bit of a buffer there, but I'd love to get it below 40 average rarity. That would be really cool.
There's 4 ultra rares waiting for you with the Days Gone DLC.
Yes. Yeah, that's a game that actually I have a story about that one. I'll finish this up. The reason I struggled with the Days Gone one is because I had the Days Gone disc and I played it on that, and I think I played like obviously the full game or whatever, and then I played the challenge mode on that, and then that was fine, whatever. I got the plat and I didn't finish challenge mode, and then I gave the disc to my sister who played it because she loves like Sons of Anarchy and that kind of thing. So I was like,
it is very Sons of Anarchy.
Very, very. And down the road I have known. Then I downloaded it on PlayStation Plus collection or whatever, and I just said, hold on to the disc, I have the game now, and then I found out that the save doesn't transfer.
Oh Jesus,
just so dumb. So I don't have all the, even though I went back and I did the campaign a second time, I don't have the save at the minute, or I don't have the disc to use the save for the challenge mode. So I don't want to start challenge mode fresh again,
Fair enough. You maybe get the disc back at some point, and you'll get it. But overall, a great few months for us so far into the year.
Yeah, I think we've done pretty well, and it's looking like a potentially promising year. Maybe a bit of a different year than last year, especially for me. I'm not going to go
that's not sustainable 80 games,
or anything. I'm going to go for more, maybe smaller rare games, but I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see The Evil Within complete by the end of the year on your account.
Okay, so we'll end it on this. Should I just hide the game or should I try to plat it? I'll leave it up to the people. Well, look, thanks for watching, guys. Let us know what you've been playing and what you hope to plat in the near future, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye. I'm just gonna hide out of just gonna like slow. Yeah, not awkward at all. Platchums.